What is up, everybody? And today I'm going to be talking about Witch Queen and my review for it. So I'm going to talk about a spoiler-free review to start out with, and then I'm going to get into spoilers after that, and I'll give a little warning on screen and everything for that. But I don't even know where to start. I'm going to mainly be talking about the campaign, a few other story things too. But oh my god, this expansion is so good. Destination for a second. The design is beautiful. We have the fortress, which is amazing. It has this it's hive architecture, but from a distance it doesn't look like that. It just looks like some massive beautiful fantasy castle until you get closer to it and you realize that it's still hive. You have the swamps in the miasma and my favorite part of the map, the quagmire. And the destination is just great. There's so much going on in it at a time. Like, Europa's cool because it has the weather system and all that. And it's a cool location to go to. It has some really cool parts like Reese Reborn or the Exoscience Labs. But other than that, it just feels barren and empty. The Throne World does not have that problem at all. It's packed with so much stuff. Like everywhere, and it's great to see that. It's really busy, but not in a bad way. So I want to talk about the campaign now. Some great things about the campaign. We have a great character arc for Ikora, a character that we really haven't had much experience with in the past. She just kind of played second fiddle to characters like Cade, Eris, Zavala. Even Crow had more of a character arc than Ikora up until this point. But Ikora's character arc is so good in this, and I'll talk about that more later on when I talk about spoilers. But Ikora's character arc is great, and then the campaign itself is just so good. Because instead of... This might be a little spoilery, but it isn't. So instead of like Forsaken or Beyond Light, where you go hunt down the lieutenants or barons of the big bad, you hunt down clues. You're trying to solve a mystery. You're trying to figure out what's going on here. And you find out what's going on eventually. But it's just really cool to go through that. It's more visual. It's more show, not tell. It's honestly amazing. Forsaken's system worked for it. Hunting down lieutenants in a revenge plot, that works just fine. It's really good for that. But Beyond Light, it could have been better, but the main thing about Beyond Light was stasis. Witch Queen, you're trying to find answers to a mystery, and that's what you do. You play detective, and it's really cool. It's so hard to not talk about spoilers because it's just so good that I just want to talk about so much other things in Witch Queen that are great other than the amazing story that they put in it. Glaives, maybe a little overpowered. They're really fun to use. The melee's really good on it. For some reason, Invis is glitched with it right now, so there's that. It'll probably be fixed. Void 3.0 is amazing. Maybe a little overtuned, but it's amazing. Weapon crafting is also great. I know Masterwork Orbs was a big point of fear, and that's honestly the worst thing about Witch Queen, Masterwork Orbs being on the helmet. But I do like origin traits. Like, right now, I want so many stasis Hako weapons with headstone, because it does more damage to stasis crystals because it's Haka. That's amazing. I love that synergy it has, and it's things like that that I really enjoy that help build crafting, and Witch Queen really leaned into that a lot. One of the greatest things about Witch Queen, the season going along with it. It goes along with it. It's not like Beyond Light, where Season of the Hunt had nothing to do at all with the expansion that came out, or Undying to Shadowkeep. It really didn't do anything to the expansion. It was just another thing going on in the world. But This one, it's a direct continuation, and I hope that this whole year is one long story thread based from Witch Queen. There could be other stories too, don't get me wrong, but if we just continued going along the path we are, I'd be perfectly fine with that. With some B plots on the side, of course. But yeah. Anyways, I'm done with the spoiler-free review. I just want to talk about the campaign and everything now. So, the ending was amazing. I'll get to that in a second, but my favorite thing about Ikora's arc was her stepping back and looking at who she is and thinking, you know what? Our job as guardians isn't to protect some big ball in the sky. It's to protect and guard humanity. The Awoken, the Exos, the humans, everyone. We don't owe anything to the Traveler. Yeah, it's nice to have so that we could have the light, but at the end of the day, that's not what we're protecting. So she was like, yeah, I don't have a problem with us using darkness. We just need to, be careful and make sure that when we use those powers, we're careful. And yeah, Zavala didn't like that, which goes with his character because he cares more about the Traveler and doing what he thinks is right because he has a more strict code than Ikora. And we got to see more of how powerful Ikora is, and it's just great. Other things about the campaign, seeing that the Traveler really doesn't care about us at all. It just cares about its own survival. It didn't pick us to give the light to, and we kind of knew that before, but this just proved it. It really didn't pick anyone. It just wanted someone to protect it, and Savathun offered that, so it went with Savathun. And being able to see Sathona and other things from the Book of Sorrow within the game, that was really cool. All the memory stuff, the cutscenes were all so good. There's just so much this expansion did right, and it's so hard to talk about specific things. The mechanics, like the moths, I love the moth mechanic. It gets annoying sometimes, but it's a great mechanic. Fighting the Hive Guardians and crushing their ghosts is great too. There's so much right about this expansion, and it's so hard. Now that I'm trying to talk about spoilers, it's just so much harder to. The Mindscape stuff with Season of the Risen's cool. The way we go to the relic and use the darkness to you do time travel stuff to build our weapons is kind of how it's explained. That's cool. The fields of Mars and all the time dilation things everywhere, that's so cool. The deep sight, yeah, that's so fucking cool. And anyways, now that I'm trying to talk about spoilers, it's really hard. The Savathun boss fight was extremely difficult, but it was so fun to do. And when you beat it, you had this feeling that yeah, that was hard. I'm glad I was able to do that. Anyways, yeah, that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed. Maybe like, comment, subscribe, all that. See you next time.